Cascade Hoops Talk, this is Billy D. Hey, today we have Chris Wright. He's the head men's basketball coach, Langston University. They are the Lions. You're going to enjoy this show. Buckle up. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. Hey, today we have Chris Wright. As you know, he's the head men's basketball coach, Langston University. They were the runner-up the year before last. They were in the top 16 last year. 2 straight trips to Kansas City for a program that had won, 2 games in 4 years or something like that. He's done a great job there. He's got a whole nother team again. He said, he's going to talk about, what did he learn from last year's team that he's going to bring to this year's team? Coach Wright is always learning. That's one thing I like about him. He never is stuck in the mud. He's always going to learn from last year and bring it to this year. Hey, let's take a listen to Chris Wright. He's the head men's basketball coach, Langston University, the Lions. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Chris Wright on the phone. He's the head men's basketball coach, Langston University. They are the Lions. Morning, Coach. Thanks for being on.
Billy D, how are we doing? It's crazy that it's almost October.
It's almost time. So you're going into your 3rd season there at Langston. It's been quite a ride. How they treating you there? Are you happy there in Oklahoma?
Man, it's a great place. Definitely been very blessed to get to spend 3 years here, and we're looking forward to it going here pretty quickly.
I think you have tremendous support. The school really is into the basketball program. When I watch your games on the video, it's packed, it's wild. Just talk about not only the student support, but the administrative support you've had there at Langston.
I really believe that to be successful, right, to put yourself in a place where you can even talk about winning a national championship, you have to have great support from your administration. And, again, I'm very blessed to have worked for 2 presidents here that, both want us to be really, really good and have really invested in our program. And, also have a great athletic director. It was a former women's coach here at Langston, a former Division I coach at Grambling. And so to have a boss that you work with every day that understands what it takes to win is huge.
So last season, you were able to get back to Kansas City. That means a lot to the program. When you look at your program, some people will say, well, it's been a little bit of a disappointment for Chris. You lost a national championship game and he only made it to Kansas City. Does that kind of make the hair on the back of your neck stand up a little bit when you hear stuff like that?
I think that's one of the hard things about coaching is at the end of the year, there's going to be one person, one head coach that's really happy about what their program did, right? Like if you don't win it all, there's always going to be that, that disappointment. And but we were very blessed to go to 2 national championships in a span of 3 years and obviously lost them both. And so, that's obviously our goal, right? To get back to one of those and then find a way to win it.
Coach, you've never put a roster together by the textbook. You do the Chris Wright thing. You've had tremendous luck rebuilding programs, doing things the way you do them. You lost that championship game in the last 40 seconds. I know you don't want to relive that. Last season, you brought in, on paper, what looked like probably the most talented group you've ever had. From a fan standpoint, from afar, it appeared to me at least that you may have overcompensated slightly, trying to make up and make sure you don't lose that championship again, and maybe took a chance here and there, because it just seemed like that team never completely gelled and never hit their potential. The potential was unbelievable, and they never hit.
Yeah, that was about as frustrating of a, I think, 26-win season as you could have.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I never thought that, we ever quite put it all together. And so, we took a couple of chances on some guys that, that didn't work out. Right, which is part of it. And, kind of the cool thing is get a chance to kind of fix the mistakes that we made last year. Yeah. And so, we're really excited about the guys that we brought in this year. I think really wanted to focus on, getting guys that, could really get over themselves and be a part of right, of the culture they expect to have here.
So when you were going out and rebuilding this, you basically have turned the roster. You got a few guys coming back, didn't really play big minutes last year. For the most part, it's a complete rebuild, looks like to me. When you were out looking at guys, what were some of the attributes that you looked at?
I think the biggest thing for us is we want guys that want to grow, right? And obviously being at the NAIA level, if you're trying to go out and put together the best roster you can, sometimes it's going to be made up of some guys that maybe it is their second or third chance somewhere.
Right.
So really just, I think for us, spending time, really getting to know guys and, again, just wanting guys here that were hungry to learn and grow. And we're, obviously September 29th today. And, we haven't dealt with one single guy having an attitude yet.
Wow.
And so, that gives me hope that, we can really focus on basketball and we have a chance to be really good.
You're known as a defensive coach. I think I'm understating that. You have quite a passion for playing defense. Is that the hardest thing to find in a guy, is somebody who will really clamp down on defense without the ball?
I think it is hard to get guys to defend, right, the way that we want them to here. I think defensively it's a lot about habits. And so, we really try to build guys' habits, right, early in the preseason. And then once they get a lot of the details and how we want to defend, it becomes second nature to them. But, it's right. Society doesn't tell you that defense wins. Everyone wants to be in the box score. Everyone, your family cares about how many points you scored and maybe how many rebounds you grabbed. And so I think it is difficult early to get guys to buy into to really having their identity be on the defensive end.
Not only did you have to rebuild the team, Danny Neville, everybody knows, took the job at Rocky Mountain. You brought in, you kind of got lucky because Kevin, how do you pronounce his last name? Carwer,
yep.
Carwer
yep.
Became available. They had a little bit of upheaval at UTEP. Boy, if you read through the comments and articles, people were not happy that Kevin got let go there. They did a full upheaval of their assistant coach staff. He became available kind of at the last minute for you. That was kind of a lucky stroke for you, wasn't it, Coach, for him to become available like he did?
Well, I think it was more than lucky. I've been really fortunate to have a lot of great assistant coaches. And, I've been friends with Coach Carver for, 9 years now. And, I've tried to hire him at a couple places I've been at. It just hasn't worked out. And so, to get a guy of that caliber that is literally good at everything, right? Like he has a great basketball mind. He's really good with technology, something that I struggle a little bit with. Does a great job of building relations with players. Literally, he checks off every single box of what we wanted, in an assistant coach here. And so, I'm really blessed to be able to work with him. And, we're excited about just the roster we've been able to put together since he's came aboard.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that before I'm not going to be remiss. You got to admit, John Warren has been just a rock for you. He's been with you a number of years on your staff.
Hey, he is he's awesome, right? Like, he played for me for 3 years, both at Central Baptist and at Talladega. And then, right, we've coached together for 5 years. So we were looking up, I think our record coaching together, something like 149-23. So we haven't lost too many games together. And so, man, he's been a huge part of our success. And, he really takes care of me. He's like family to us. And so, to have both of those guys that are not only really good coaches, but great people is, it's awesome for me, but also for our players on an everyday basis.
Said a couple of times you rebuilt this roster. I know you're itching to talk about it. I looked through it. A lot of the names I'm not familiar with. One guy I am, Jay Wilson. He played down at Corbin. I saw him a number of times. I've seen him just totally dominate. He's 6'7", 6'8", but he's strong as a bull.
Yeah, he's a guy that can really score around the basket. It's hard to find guys that you can just throw it into nowadays and go get a bucket on the block, but he can really do that. And so I think he's, learning how to be consistent every day. He's coming off a torn ACL. So he was out last year, but he has a chance to be really, really good for us. So, we're excited about him. And then, I think we have so many good people on our team this year. Like, we really struggled to score at times last year. And,
Yeah.
it's not very fun. And so, we wanted to go out and get a group of guys that could make shots. And so, man, our backcourt, I think, is just loaded with those guys. If you look at like Edenholt, he was about 10 a game at Tennessee Martin, and then was at Weber International a couple years ago. I think he's 21, 22 a game there. Marcivis Leach, averaged about 20 points a game in his career at a Division II Davenport, a really good league.
Yep.
Antonio Lewis transferred in from Dalton State. He made 94 threes last year. And then probably the guy that's been maybe our biggest surprise in a good ways, man, Orlando Thomas. He was at Weber International as well last year. Put up huge numbers, really efficient. And we knew he was a good player, but he's been tremendous for us. And so, man, when you're able to put four guards like that on the floor, you have a chance to get some things done.
So when you were looking at this backcourt scoring, were you looking more for penetration or somebody who could fill up the three? What was your priority?
Definitely wanted someone that could that could make catch and shoot threes, where we really struggled last year.
Yeah.
But also guys that can get their own shot, and offensively, we're really big about getting paint touches. That's something that we chart a lot, that we talk a lot about. And so just having guys that can break you down off the bounce as well.
So as you've been, almost 2 weeks now with these guys, what's your general overall feel? I know you said you haven't had to do an attitude adjustment yet, but just in general, how are they gelling? What's your feel for this team up to this point?
Man, as people, I absolutely love them. I mean, these guys are a joy to coach every day. Again, I've been really impressed with how easily we score the basketball, right? I think that's going to pay great dividends for us. I think you mentioned it. It's basically a complete new team. And so guys are learning just how to work hard every day, how to be consistent, and just, trying to get everyone on the same page defensively, right? We want to be the best defensive team in the country. I think if you can be elite defensively and you have really good players, you're going to win a lot of games.
You ended your season against College of Idaho, team that has just been on a roll. When you look at that team, how well they played together and how they just always seemed to come up with the scores they needed, to kind of rank that team amongst some of the better NAIA teams you've played against.
Yeah, well, that's as good of a team as I've played against. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I thought it was really impressive. Obviously, not only what they did throughout the course of the whole season, but to run through their opponents how they did in Kansas City. You just don't see that, right?
No.
I mean, they were by far the best team in the country. I don't think there was a close second. Coach Blaine's done a tremendous job there. Obviously, he's won 2 national titles there for a reason, and so glad they lost a lot of those guys. For sure.
Well, yeah, I'm really. Who I was talking about that Tonagel. He was asking me who's going to win the Cascade Conference. He always tries to corner me like that. And I said something about College of Idaho, and he said, "No, I'll take College of Idaho if he just has a bunch of 7th graders." But he lost. Colby lost everybody. I'm going to be talking to him here next week, but he lost everybody. But boy, he's got a great going class. But I told Coach Tonagel, it's hard for me to trust freshmen. That's just it's going to be interesting to see that team without Drew Wyman and Robinette and Johnny, all those guys who could just fill it up. It's going to be, they were a little bit different team without Jake O'Neal, but they were able to make that up. Stratton Rogers really took up the slack there, but it's going to be just a completely new team. It's going to be interesting to see.
Hey, I'm sure they will be just fine. I don't doubt those guys at all. Freshmen, seniors, whatever, it doesn't matter. Hey,
you sound just like Tonagel.
Yeah. Hey, winners win. Those guys find a way to be elite every year. And so, yeah, I'm sure they'll be back in Kansas City.
So let's take a look at your schedule before you get into that tough Sooner conference. You've got a pretty tough preseason. Florida College, you're going to open with them on the 24th. I think they're going to be much improved. Just my gut feel. They got the new coach there. And then you got University of St. Mary, which you've had some experience with. Oklahoma Wesleyan, Donnie Bostwick has won a game or two. And then, then you got a couple other games before you start the conference. How do you feel about you scheduled pretty tough in the preseason there, Coach?
Yeah, it was a great idea last spring and summer. And then you get here and you're looking down your schedule and thinking, man, might have overdid this a little bit. But no, hey, I think playing good teams early is great, especially well-coached teams. And all those coaches you mentioned are really good coaches, have had a lot of success. And so, I think it's really going to prepare us for the Sooner Athletic Conference. And so, it's nice. We have 4 non-conference games at home, which last year we had 9. And so, being able to play some of those, on our home court is great for our guys. Just getting the student body involved early and hopefully starting with some good momentum.
And I always say it, Coach, more people need to know it. You play at the CF Gales Fieldhouse, but you play on Marcus Haynes Court. Langston is where Marcus Haynes, from Globetrotter fame, played basketball, and your court's named after him. I always find that very interesting.
Hey, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So many of our guys, don't, like, once you start recruiting them, they don't know who Marcus Haynes is. And
you have to go find some movies.
Absolutely. Some of the old school footage. But yeah, obviously he was an amazing player.
Before I let you go, you got to talk about that Sooner Athletic Conference. Super competitive. Last year it was just a dogfight. What was there? 5 teams vying for first toward the end. I don't remember now. I think you were in danger of being either second or sixth there for a while, depending on the way a couple of games went. It was that tight. Just talk about playing in that conference.
It's man, I was really impressed with our league last year, just top to bottom. I think extremely well coached. And there's a lot of really, really good programs that, are good every single year in our league. And so it presents a great challenge. Obviously with Nelson won the league last year, the regular season title. They're going to be really good this year. MacU, Coach Campbell's won a national championship. He always has them playing really, really good basketball. And then, being in the league with one of my best friends, Clint Gallion at Wayland Baptist. I know he loves his roster that they've put together, and I think they're going to be surprisingly really, really, really good. I think a lot better than people think. So, and then you talk about like John Brown and Texas Wesleyan, and it's top to bottom, it's a really good league.
Yeah, and you're going to have a new look at Oklahoma City over there, and also Science and Arts, the coach is going into second year there. He kind of came in last year and he had to throw everything together in just a few weeks. I think Science and Arts, they're traditionally they're a powerhouse. I think they're going to be a lot better this year. So I think if anything, it's going to be tougher, your conference. You're welcome. Now you don't get any sleep. Last year you got an hour a night. Now you don't get any sleep.
No, none at all.
So, Coach, are you getting pretty excited for October 24th? A lot of work to do yet?
Yeah, we obviously, have about 26 days here to continue to improve. I like the direction we're headed. So I would say I'm cautiously optimistic, right? But, if we can stay on the course that we're on right now, I think we have a chance to be back where we want to be.
Well, Coach, I can't wait to see the new version of the Lions on the court. I know you're excited. Everybody in the country knows you're going to be good. It's just how good. But you will be good. I'm sure of that. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to get you back on during the season. We can talk about some outcomes and how this team's performing on the court. Hopefully you're up for that.
Hey, always, Billy D. I appreciate you. It's always good visiting with you.
I appreciate it, Coach. That's Coach Chris Wright, Langston University. They are the Lions. Thank you, Coach.
Hey, thanks, Billy D. Have a good one.
Hey, thanks to Chris Wright and to Langston University. I always enjoy talking to Chris Wright, a very friendly guy. And I think the Lions will be back this year. Don't count them out. I think the league's going to be even tougher than it was last year. And I think last year was one of the top years in the NAIA since I've been watching, which is, like 2 days before dirt. Anyway, thanks a lot to everybody. As I always say, I appreciate all the support we've gotten in the early season, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.